I'm gonna go ahead and start cranking out some knife videos. I do have to do them in one take, so I'm sorry for blemishes and all that. Because I don't have any sort of computer software to edit things together like I did in my previous gun videos. At any rate, moving forward. Today we're going to be taking a look at a ProTech knife. ProTech is a USA company, and they make lots of great knives, but this one specifically is called the Godfather. And as you can see, it is an auto knife, and I'm not sure what that flashing is. Ooh, now you see it, now you don't. Or vice versa. Love it. This is a sweet knife, and it does cost a pretty penny. If you want to buy one of these new, you're going to be looking, close to $300, unless you can find one online cheaper. But look at the handle. I mean, I see skulls in the handle all over. I don't think they did that on purpose, but that's just maybe my mind, and me being, a dark and twisty kind of guy. I see skulls up and down all this thing. I love this knife. I have had it for a minute, and boy is it fast. ProTech USA. That's right. Look at that blade. Like an ice pick, basically. So, that begs the question, what does a guy want a knife like this for? Well, there aren't a whole lot of reasons that somebody would actually want a knife like this. And, I mean, it's not like the world's most functional cutter. Look at the draw of the blade. There's not much. It's basically just an elongated spear. And typically to be used in like a reverse grip, stabbing motion type of thing, So as a tactical blade, would you run it? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because there's no retention on the handle. You could easily, in the mud and the blood, you're going to slide right down that blade onto your own edge and slice the crap out of yourself. Especially if somebody has clothes on, leather, or even if you just, if you're going in a thrusting motion and you don't have it's not tight, you're going to end up losing your knife and injuring yourself, or, worse, you never know. This does not have the retention that you really need for a tactical blade in a defensive or offensive situation. So that goes back to the question: what are you gonna do with it? Okay, this is just a cool knife. This is like, to me, a letter opener on steroids. I hate to say it, but honestly, I never run this knife in any of my systems. I would never put it on my body armor. What do I have? Look at what I have here. This will be in a future review, but this is an awesome Benchmade push dagger. Now we're talking philosophy of use. This is what's up. Okay, in a system like this, a body armor system, that's pretty much ideal. And, that was illustrated well in the movie Platoon. But, yeah, talk about that later. Back to the ProTech. The blade steel is 154 cm. That's a high carbon steel. It sharpens very well. The only problem with it is that it is slightly prone to rust. So that's something that the user has to be aware of. And they have to keep, if they live in a moist environment, they want to keep their blade well lubricated with some sort of, something that's going to inhibit that rust. But it is a sexy knife. I got to say that. I've always loved the way this knife looks. It just presents really well. I've never found anybody that doesn't like it. It's just sick. They have lots of different offerings with the handles. They have different scales available. As you can see, this one has actually had some pocket wear and tear here, and that's kind of a bummer, but I mean, it's pretty lightweight. I haven't put it on a scale or anything, but it's right about 3 ounces. It's actually really lightweight. I would actually go to the website and see if you really care about that. For somebody who wants to run as an EDC in a state that's allowed, yeah, you know, if you're someone who's into style points, I could definitely see running this. Why not? It's a tip-up carry, which is great. Any knife that doesn't allow for a tip-up carry, that's an instant fail in my book. That's like a deal breaker for me. But the clip itself, it's pretty tight, you know. I like that it's got the 3 screws there. They're T6 screws for those who care. So are the ones on the scales as well. And that's cool. I think that's actually a T5 in the pivot there. But the button itself is a little bit recessed, which is nice, so you're not going to accidentally accentuate it, or actuate it, I'm sorry. You know, an accidental deployment, that's not good. So it's a, you know, you have to actually try to open the knife. You have to push the button, but when you do, that guy really gets out there. It's a coil spring. It doesn't have the old school torsion bar in the back like the switchblades of old that had the spring in the back here, the big long steel spring. It's got a coil there in the bolster, and that is why it's faster. But you know what? Honestly, I kind of prefer the old school torsion bars. I like the old school switchblades, but this is sick all the same. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off, and I appreciate all of those who watched, and I appreciate those who have stuck with me, especially during this transitional period where I don't have any sort of computer software to edit together better videos with music and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, and talk to you soon. Have a good day.